What's shaking, my friends? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Shay, and today we're gonna chat a little bit about my most anticipated February releases. Okay, so there are some sequels for sure coming out this month, but I haven't read the first book, so I can't talk about them coming out if I haven't read the first one. So we're gonna get right into the releases that I'm quite interested in that come out in the month of February. Starting out on, and I have my computer in front of me so that I can give y'all the most information. So starting out on February the 7th, we have Wild Blood by Lauren Blackwood. This is a YA fantasy, and what I have down for this is it is tour guides in a monster forest where magic that protects the guests, the tour guides have magic that protects the guests from the monsters in the forest, and there's going to be one epic mission through forest. Okay, so obviously some things are going to go down on this epic mission. I'm guessing the wards are going to fail and the monsters are going to get them. Okay, I'm here for it. Also on the 7th, we have Wild Massive by Scott O'Moore. This is where, we're in a building. Each floor represents something different, and then this girl, our main character, gets trapped into the theme park floor. Somebody's chasing her. That's all I know, but that sounds like a frolicking wild good time. Also on the 7th, we have Seven Faceless Saints. This is by M.K. Lobb. This is a YA fantasy rebellion murder. Two main characters are going to get together to try to solve the murders. And the blurb is, with darkness closing in and time running out, will they be able to save the city from an evil so powerful that it threatens to destroy everything in its path? So I also like the cover on this one. Also on February the 7th is Going Dark by Melissa De La Cruz. This is told through a mixture of social media posts, diary entries, and first-hand accounts. Going Dark is a gripping, suspenseful thriller about all the missing girls who fall off the radar. So it's a YA thriller, but it intrigues me. I also like mixed media format in my books. So yeah. Then coming in on January the 14th, we have Revel by Lissa Mia Smith. I'm probably butchering these names. But Revel is a standalone. Number one, it's a YA fantasy romance, I would think. And when Lux and Jameson accidentally meet, the sparks that fly are more than her magical enchantments. But keeping secrets from powerful people is a dangerous game, one that could destroy them both. So I am into this because what hit me was that standalone thing there. Also, we have On the Savage Side by Tiffany McDaniel. 6 women, mothers, daughters, sisters, gone missing. When the first is found floating dead in the river, it reveals the disturbing truth of a small Ohio town. This follows 2 sisters who fear they are next. I think it's based on a true story. I'm not quite positive on that, but I think it's based on a true story. And then on February the 16th, my most anticipated release of the entire month is The Shadow Casket by Chris Whitting, which is a sequel to The Ember Blade. And that's all you need to know. Ember Blade, my number one favorite book of 2022. The sequel is finally coming out next month. The thing is, I haven't decided whether I want to reread The Ember Blade before I go into The Shadow Casket, or whether I just want to go into The Shadow Casket. But that's thoughts for another day. On February the 21st, I Have Some Questions for You by Rebecca Makkai. This is her roommate died in college, and she is offered a teaching position at the college. So when she goes back to college, she's kind of investigating what really happened when her roommate died and who actually killed her. And there are several thrillers that have started to have this same trope where there's a murder in the past, and then the main character is going back to try to figure out, did they catch the actual real killer? So I've enjoyed all that I've read so far. So looking forward to another one. Then we have The Writing Retreat by Julia Bartz. And this is everybody gets invited to a writing retreat. It has a competition element. And during the competition, first of all, they're in this mansion that could possibly be haunted. Who knows? And then one writer vanishes, and then things start to pop off and happen. That sounds interesting. Then we have The Insatiable Hunger of Trees by Samantha Eaton. And this is a YA horror, and I normally don't like YA horrors, but this one intrigues me because it's about monsters in the woods. like somebody's sister, I think, goes missing, and they try to look for her for a year, and then all of a sudden she reappears with no memory, I think, of what has happened in the past year, and then there's monsters in the woods. I don't know. I'm getting more into the horror element this year, I think. And then also on the 21st, Murder Your Employer, The McMaster's Guide to Homicide by Rupert Holmes. This blurb says, the McMaster's Conservatory for the Applied Arts, a luxurious clandestine college dedicated to the fine art of murder, where earnest students study how best to delete their most deserving victim. So, a school to learn how to murder. I mean, do we need anything else? Then we have Arch Conspirator by Veronica Roth. You may be saying, Shay, why do you have a novella on your anticipated releases? I don't know, because the concept is cool. It's an Antigone retelling, and I liked the cover. And also, I haven't tried any Veronica Roth since, I DNF'd the Divergent series, so why not? Then on February the 23rd, we have Our Share of Night by Mariana Enriquez. This is a translated work that has been out quite a long time, but has now been translated to English. Haunted by evil and surrounded by horror, Gaspar and his father attempt to outrun a powerful family that would do anything to ensure its own survival, but can any of us escape the fate that awaits us? And I think it's about people that are on the hunt for the elixir of life, immortality. But it's like 600 pages of a horror novel. So that's crazy, but I also really enjoyed the cover. Then we have on February the 28th, it's One of Us by J.T. Ellison. This is a thriller where I believe that the wife and the husband have been trying to do everything they can to have a child. They've done IVF, they've done everything, and they've been unsuccessful. And this detective lady comes and tells them that his son, the husband's son, has been found guilty of murder. I guess they found him through like a genealogical service. And the wife's like, no, he doesn't have a son. But then it turns out that he actually does have a son because he donated his sperm in the past, and so he doesn't know how many kids he actually does have. And I'm sure that that's going to cause some conflict, and I guess it's a thriller. I mean, I guess we have to know who murdered people too. So then we have A Day of Fallen Night by Samantha Shannon. This is the prequel to Priory of the Orange Tree. It's on my shelf right here. I really loved Priory of the Orange Tree. It's been quite a minute since I read that book, but I loved it. And I will get to this massive chunker at some point in time. Dragons, yes. I'm not sure when that's going to be, but I'm ready for it to come out. Then also on the 28th, we have Nightbirds by Kate J. Armstrong. This is a YA fantasy. In a dazzling new fantasy world full of whispered secrets and political intrigue, the magic of women is outlawed, but 4 girls with unusual powers have the ability to change it all. So this is another feminist fantasy, and I'm interested in reading it. Political intrigue is what gets me. Those are like my buzzwords. Political intrigue. I'm in it to win it. Then on the 20th, we have Delicious Monsters by Lucille Samberry, and this is a YA thriller horror book as well. It follows 2 teen girls navigating the treacherous past of a mysterious mansion years apart. So dual timelines, there's a mysterious house. And then my second most anticipated book of the month. This was supposed to come out in March, but they backed it up a week. Yes, thank you. And that's going to be The Adventures of Amina Al-Sarafi by Shannon Chakraborty. Hello. You guys know that the David Bond trilogy is my favorite trilogy of all time. And here we are, getting this new book a week early, and I'm happy about it. It is magic and mayhem on the high seas in this tale of pirates and sorcerers, forbidden artifacts, and ancient mysteries in one woman's determined quest to seize a final chance at glory and write her own legend. Of course, it's coming out on the 28th. That's the last day of February, but I will read this in March. I'm almost 100% positive I will read this in March. That's all of my anticipated releases for February. If you are looking forward to another book in February, leave it down below. I may not have heard of it. I am all about the new releases and reading them, hopefully. These are all the books anyway that's going to go in my new releases jar when I pull out my TBR for the month of February. So hopefully I'll get to some of these. I hope that your reading month is going all kind of well, and I will catch you guys later.